Hello everyone, so this will be a quick update on the build. I have made some improvements, I have made some small changes, I have basically invested currency, so if you didn't make the previous build, you may not want to bother too much with this one, but I'm just showing you some progression. I have tested some things, I have invested, bought some things, and there are some interesting tech you can do to further upgrade the build. And if you want to watch the full build video, just watch the previous one. And had a lot of views, a lot of comments. And if you want to watch like build showcase, how this build performs in the game, open the YouTube shorts on my channel. And basically the latest clip is like 15-20 seconds. Waste nothing of your time, you will see how it does. So this build is one of the strongest in the game. It does all the content, it never really dies. It's very hard to die. And we are finally at 12,000 mana for real, because you may have thought that the previous preview thumbnail was like a clickbait. It's not a clickbait, we are really at 12,000 mana, and I didn't even change the amulet, I didn't even change the gloves, and I didn't even upgrade my wand. So how did we get 12,000 mana? So okay guys, so you remember we had the jewel, which called from nothing, and we had it here, and it gave us 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 points. This point became obsolete, so we had 4 of these points. And that jewel cost like 40 or 50 divines. I actually bought it earlier for like 14. But the thing is, because we were pathing through to this point and to this point, it turned out that this jewel actually doesn't allow you to get the attributes. So when you put the jewel, those attributes here, they don't work, and these attributes are the main thing. We are stuck in intelligence. So for us, losing 5 passive points for a jewel like this one was too much of a loss. That's why I have removed it from the build. But what I have found out, there is another from nothing diamond, which locates here. And so this one, the resonance, it's even more expensive. It's like 75 divines. It allows us to take these points, the critical points, which also have stats, which is very nice, and allows us to take spaghettification point. So guys, this I had an anointed amulet, so it's very valuable. It gives us 11% attributes, and the tech here is because we take the resonance jewel, and I just bought it for like 70 divines. It's not cheap. We can take these nodes, these 3 nodes, which are very valuable, and we also don't waste any points because we don't path through this, so we don't waste any attribute points here. But the thing is, I have found a further upgrade. I had a time lost darkness against the darkness jewel, which gave intelligence and mana. So I have replaced it with intelligence spirit, and here we have 60 spirit, and we also have here 20% intelligence. So I took those useless nodes. We just spent 2 points, so we don't go like here and spend like 5 points pathing through this. So this is a bad tech, but this is a really good tech. So each of these points gives us 12 spirit and 4% intelligence, so they are not useless. For 1 point, so for 1 skill passive, gaining 4% intelligence is already very good. So it's multiplicative to our build. So every of these points increase the value of each attribute point we take, so it's very good. So we have 20% intelligence and we have 60 spirit. And what does 60 spirit allows us? It allows us a lot of freedom. So first, I already shown you, we use this chest. This is the best chest in the game. It gives us a lot of mana. I can try and show you how much mana it gives.
What is it?
And for this I need to do something with my stats. Okay, so here's something like this one. I didn't lose much, I lost like 200 mana, so you can see my amulet is actually very weak on mana, just gives level 4 spell skills. And now I can remove the chest. So the chest actually gives us 2800 mana. Yeah, so this is the best chest in the game. It's better than even 1000 energy shield chest, which you can craft. And also has the perfect roll, so this one costs more expensive. You can get, I think, not perfect roll for like 15-20 divines, but this may cost like... okay, there are no results. and like this, 35. So 35, 50 divines. But this is like the perfect. Also, this is best item in slot, and we don't need to search for anything else. So I really like those uniques because you just you have no more upgrades. Okay, so you can chill and relax. Okay, this chest is incredible. And we are stuck in attributes, so we take the attributes node. I even took those 3 nodes to push my mana to 12,000. So you can still refer to my previous 3. I don't think there is like a major difference. I have replaced because we now have spaghettification taken for free for 1 point basically. We just take it because we have this from nothing diamond. So we take spaghettification, we free up the annoying slot. And because we free up the annoying slot, I have anointed lightning rod. And this freed up 1, 2, 3, 4 points. So these 4 points, we took another jewel socket. We can take it here, you can go here. Yeah, so, and stack up more mana. Stack up more intelligence and more mana. Okay, and one more thing I have forgot to mention. So a lot of guys spam my comments on YouTube. Oh, you take lightning rod, but you run a crit build. Okay, so this game is not part of XL1. We do not. Almost nobody can cap a crit chance to 100. Okay, so if you look at my spark, I have a 23% crit chance. Okay, so this node gives us 30% damage multiplier. So if you don't know how much it gives, it's a 30% damage multiplier if you never crit. So if you crit 50% of the time, it only works on non-critical hits. So it gives you a 50% multiplier. Okay, 50% damage multiplier is still better than this node. It's still better than most nodes in the passive tree game. Okay, so taking it for 1 point is a steal. You should always take it. If you don't have like 90% crit chance. Nobody has 90% crit chance. I think that the best gear you can get for like a mirror tire 1, and then get some more crit chance, you'll still be like at 45, 50% or something like this. So you will not really be ever not having this node. Okay, so this is a no-brainer take. My Megalomaniac only has Wildstorm. If it had more useful stats, that would be great. So if it had like Mana Blessing and Wildstorm, I would 3 more points passive. And I could path like here and get 2 of those jewel sockets instead of like this one. Yeah, so this is it. And one more thing, guys. I have so a lot of people requested, and I have tested this build with bow and quiver. And it's actually not that bad, it's quite good. So I can probably wear it right now. So this is our build. So we lose like 3000 mana. And as you see, the spark gets much faster. So I can say it's great. So it's not bad for mapping, so maybe you could use this for mapping. This is not perfect, by the way. You can get 300%. So it costs like 10 divines for the quiver, and it costs like 40 divines for the bow. And I have actually tried to craft this bow myself. I have seen a clip of some streamer who did this from first attempt, from just random Widowhail which dropped from the ground. So I bought over 80 of those Widowhail bows, and I vowed all of them with 2 sockets empty. And I basically got only one above 250%, and this is this one, so 264. So I never got 300%. I'm not sure what are the odds, but like 80 balls and nothing, okay? And I don't want to spend like 40 divines. Basically, if you spend 40 divines, it will give you +1 level of purchase speed. So there are a lot of negatives of this. It's better on mapping for sure because it clears mobs off the screen. But it's not that big deal, to be honest, and it's much worse. It's much worse on Bossing and much worse on Simulacrum. You lose block chance, you lose 3k mana, you lose a lot of DPS, to be honest. Why I'm selling this so fucking cheap? Okay. I'm broke, guys. I spent all my money. Also, one more thing. If you buy this jewel, for example, this is very expensive. I think it cost me like 100 divines, so I paid 85. but it was not the perfect roll, and I thought I will like buy it, and I thought I will just divine it. So I spent 25 divines divining it, so I could just buy it for 100 with perfect roll. So be careful about this. I think the chance is 1 out of 15, but based on your luck, you can roll it in 4-5 attempts, so you can roll it like 25-30, okay? So I actually spent 25 divines divining this thing. It was very painful. So this thing cost like 70 for me, this thing cost me like 110, and our next step for the build will be changing the amulet, upgrading. So there are two options. There are two options. We can remove the spirit entirely, because I have now 60 spirit from the jewel socket. So one more thing, there is a buff called Soul Offering. It works, so it takes 2 skill slots. You need Skeletal Clerics, it takes 40 spirit. 40 spirit is what you need. Those are the jewels. Increase the effect, level of support, duration. So we took duration from this one, for example. And just Skeletal Clerics. So this buff, it has upside, downsides. It gives us 60% more. I will show you exactly. So it's backed again. So 500 on the tooltip. We press Q. We have 835. So it's a massive, like 60% buff, even slightly more. It lasts like almost 10 seconds, so it's good like for bossing, for hard content. If they will nerf us in the future patches, this is something to consider to use. Right now you don't really need that much damage. The uptime overall is not 100%, so once the buff ends, or they will yeah, so when the buff ends, there's a timer for the respawn, and you have to wait. So it's like 60% uptime. Another thing, if you'd lack spirit, you could probably use it on the second weapon. But the problem is, so I'll swap. Right. So I press the buff, I swap the weapon. Okay, I did it in time right now. I will try it again. This is a life hack how to have more uptime, so we swap the weapon, we respawn. Yes, so the uptime is 100% if you do it like this. The thing is, you have to wait. You have to wait for the buff to apply it. If you don't wait, for example, I'll show you now. You see? I'll show again. I'll show again. I press Q, and the buff didn't apply. So you have to wait like about a second for the offering to take place. So it's not very usable in fights if you use on the swap weapon, because for a second you run with this, you cannot attack anything. You have to wait. Yeah, you see, it didn't take effort. Yeah, so this buff, it's still quite good. For 40 spirit, you get a 60% more spell damage. It's not a bad thing.